This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by trainer Manny Robles here at the Anthony Joshua-Oleksandr Usyk card workout. Manny, it's been a few weeks since I last saw you. How are things going?
I think the last time I recall, if I'm not mistaken, was Las Vegas, the last time I saw you at the Manny Pacquiao-Ugas fight, which is a great fight, turned out to be a good fight. And I'm doing great, by the way. I'm happy to be here and the other side of the world, man. What better place to be in this week? But the Usyk and Joshua fight, possibly the biggest heavyweight fight of the year.
On a personal note, Manny, for you, obviously it's been a difficult 18 months or so for everyone around the world for the pandemic. But for you to be able to travel over with a fighter, does it give you a bit more of an excitement now after what's been a difficult time, like I said?
Absolutely. I'm extremely blessed, extremely blessed to be here and thankful. And, things are starting to get back into shape now with boxing. We're starting to see more and more events. As we just said right now, we were at the Manny Pacquiao and Ugas fight a couple of weeks ago, which is huge in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, sellout crowd. And we're going to have the same thing Saturday night here in London.
As we've touched on it, let's just start off there. Obviously, as I said, last time we saw each other, Pacquiao-Ugas. Manny Pacquiao on the end of a unanimous decision defeat. What was your take on his potentially final performance? A few reports kind of back and forth as to whether he's retired or not since.
Well, I remember speaking to you about that fight prior to the fight, and I said this was going to be a difficult fight, a tough fight for Manny Pacquiao. I obviously, I think most of us saw Manny Pacquiao winning. But I believe I truly believe it was going to be a difficult fight for Manny. He got by. Unfortunately, he lost by unanimous decision. He's getting older, so he's not the same Manny Pacquiao we're also accustomed of seeing. And it is what it is. I think Manny Pacquiao is moving on, as we all know, running for president now. So I think that that's his next step in his career.
Obviously, touch on your charge, Carlos Castro. What did you make of his performance?
I think it was a great performance, the biggest stage of his career, fighting under such a great event again, and he passed it with a good performance. He got a last round knockout, and it was just great all the way around. He's a mandatory, he's the number one contender to the world title, WBC, and we're looking to hopefully get an opportunity to fight for that title early next year.
And then to move forwards to this week, Chris Ousley, another one of your charges, back out here, first time in the UK. How's he finding the experience so far?
Yeah, he's excited to be here, the biggest stage of his career so far. And this is what you live for. This is what you fight for. So now the opportunity is here. So now it's up to him to go out there and perform to the best of his abilities to, move on to the next big fight.
For the UK fans who haven't had a chance to see Chris yet, what should they expect to see from him on Saturday night?
He's a good boxer, aggressive fighter, come forward, fan-friendly fighter, a good counter puncher. He comes from a American football that is, background, and he hasn't been boxing for that long. He's only been in the game for about 6-7 years now, but he's learning as we go with every fight. He's looking better and better. We have a tough opponent in front of us come Saturday night, and then it's not going to be easy. Ukrainian fighter, Eastern Bloc. But that type of Eastern Bloc type of style, but it's not going to be easy. But we're prepared for it. We had some great sparring back in California, and then it's time for Millie to go up there and perform to the best of his abilities.
And of course, you've got that headline event, Anthony Joshua-Oleksandr Usyk. Nobody in the sport has had a game plan other than you to beat Anthony Joshua so far. Obviously, when you was working with Andi Ruiz Jr. So what would you recommend to Oleksandr Usyk to approach this fight?
Well, it's not going to be easy for both fighters. Obviously, I don't think AJ has fought a southpaw since Charles Martin. So if anybody has to adjust, it's going to have to be Anthony Joshua, because southpaws are used to fighting orthodox fighters, right-handed fighters. But on the other hand, Joshua hasn't. Again, like I said, he hasn't fought a southpaw since Charles Martin, which he stopped in within a couple of rounds. This is not the case though. Usyk is an Olympian. Usyk is the former cruiserweight champion of the world. He's got plenty of experience. He's got a great amateur background. It's not going to be a walk in the park for Joshua. He's going to have to adapt. He's going to have to adjust. And we're going to just have to wait and see what type of game plan he comes in with.
What have you made of the progression of his career, and what do you expect to see from him against Oleksandr Usyk?
Great fighter, man. Anthony Joshua's been ever. You learn more from your defeats than you do from your wins, as I always say. And he learned a great deal from the Andi Ruiz first defeat. I don't think he'd ever fought anybody with that type of style. But he was able to come back the second time around and win the fight by unanimous decision and relatively easy. Although it's never easy, but he made it look easy, and he looked great in that second fight. And again, he adjusted, he learned, and I expect to see that come Saturday night versus Usyk as well. Again, like I said, it's not going to be easy, but I see him winning by decision, a close decision at the end.
How much pressure is there on Anthony Joshua to be successful on Saturday night, knowing that potential undisputed bout is only around the corner if Tyson Fury is successful against Deontay Wilder?
There's always pressure. There's always pressure for Anthony Joshua, ain't there? I mean, he's the man to beat. Once again, he's at the top of the world. He holds 3 of the 4 major bouts in boxing, and everybody, of course, we all want to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. Joshua's got some business to take care of come Saturday night versus Usyk, and then so does Tyson Fury versus Wilder. And if both men can defeat their respective opponents, then we can expect a huge mega fight, possibly the biggest fight in boxing and particularly in the heavyweight division in a very long time.
We've seen Oleksandr fight 3. This will be his 3rd time at heavyweight. AJ only 1 fight since Ruiz against Kubrat Pulev. Again, how key do you think it will be that this is a big step up for Oleksandr and not necessarily kind of eased into it?
Mm-hmm. Well, look, let me tell you, AJ has never backed up from a big challenge. He's willing to fight the best, and you have to respect him for that. Once fighting Usyk is no walk in the park. It's not a piece of cake. Usyk is a very well respected fighter in the heavyweight division, and Usyk, as I said once again, being having a great amateur career, a great champion in the cruiserweight division. But this is a heavyweight division, man. It doesn't get any bigger than this, and they both are experienced fighters. They both been doing this for a little while now. They understand the what's at stake. I think both fighters have the pressure on their backs, and it's just who's able to come up with the better game plan at the end of the night. You win your fights in the gym, and I'm intrigued to see what type of game plan they both come up with. At the end of the night, at the end of the day, both the fans are gonna come out winners. There's not gonna be. I don't think we'll be disappointed. And any boxing fan around the world, I think that we're gonna see a very exciting fight, and it's just going to be a battle of strategies, and who comes up with the better strategy. We're gonna have to wait and see come Saturday night.